From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hi everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Kari Strandberg.
And I'm Avery Robb.
Today on the show, they say you never forget how to ride a bike, but bike maintenance may not have been a part of your training. We'll hear from an expert who can help make sure you travel on the two wheels safely.
Also, as children grow older, finding that quality time to spend with them can become more difficult. Learn what some mothers are doing with their spare time to connect with their sons. But first, thousands of Verizon workers in several states are walking off the job. Union employees have been working without a contract since August of 2015 and want a new labor agreement. Verizon says that if the strike continues, the company is prepared to replace the workers on strike. It also says thousands of workers have been trained to cover new assignments. Those on strike say they can't easily be replaced due to the difficulty of their jobs. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the recovery of stolen Andy Warhol paintings. The FBI says a break-in occurred at the Springfield Art Museum in Missouri. 7 of the 10 paintings were taken from a permanent display. The paintings are set number 31 of the Campbell's Soup Cans collection and are valued at $500,000. Technology is consistently changing on college campuses across the nation. Like other schools, the University of North Dakota is adopting a new way of enforcing parking. It's a license plate recognition system. Now, instead of having a hang tag, the new system will use your license plate to determine if you have a permit. Each parking enforcement car will have 2 cameras mounted on the roof, which are connected to a computer inside. As the car drives through a parking lot, the cameras scan the plates and the computer determines if the car is legally parked. The new system is being implemented for 2 main reasons.
It'll help us be more efficient in our enforcement, so there's less cost involved in having somebody driving the vehicle through. They can scan the area a lot more efficiently.
Clayton says this technology has been around since the early 2000s, but until now has been too expensive. The system is currently in the testing stage, but will be in full effect starting the 2016-2017 school year.
Virtual reality headsets are making a viewable presence in the medical field to help treat cancer. A recent report from Popular Science says the headsets are giving doctors a new 3D look at microscopic proteins. Protein is a 3-dimensional structure, however, it is typically depicted as flat. These flat images make it hard to identify the growth of cancer. This interactive software provides doctors with a better understanding of generic mutations with a deeper knowledge of the mutations. Doctors can provide more effective and efficient treatment options.
Routine can be difficult to break, but when the Grand Forks School District decided improving education for students was more important, they set out to make some changes.
While these kids enjoy the afternoon reading with their parents, their teachers are working on some changes that will affect local Grand Forks schools this coming fall.
What we're doing is meant to improve and drive our instruction so that we're meeting the needs of all the students across the board.
Students would arrive 15 minutes later and teachers would have more time to prepare for the day at the beginning of the day.
While the teachers say being able to have more time to prepare for their students is important, some might wonder why the teachers don't come to class a little earlier.
Some teachers can and some teachers can't. Me, for instance, I have a son and I can't drop him off at daycare till 7:30. A lot of other teachers have to drop their kids off at other schools.
Teachers are getting here at 8 o'clock and children, the first bell rings at 8:05 and class starts at 8:15. And so any prep that needs to get started for the day, there's 5 minutes.
The proposed changes might seem like an inconvenience to some parents, but the teachers are no stranger to how a parent might feel.
So he's not quite school age yet, but it has run through my mind, oh, how will I make that work with my kids when the time comes?
At the end of the day, the push for the change can be factored down to one simple reason: the children.
Absolutely. Everything we do here has to do with improving the lives of all students.
With the changes coming this fall, parents can rest assured the minds of their children will be in the hands of well-prepared teachers. For Studio One, I'm Matt Eaton.
The proposed changes will affect all Grand Forks elementary schools and are expected to be implemented this coming fall. Kari, that's the news for now.
Thanks, Avery. Let's go now to Kaela Lucke for the weather news. Kaela?
Thanks, Kari. Here at the weather studio, we're taking a look at some of that storms that happened down in North Texas earlier this week. They experienced some damaging hail that was coming down so hard that was breaking windows. The National Weather Service reports softball-sized hail, and the independent school canceled classes so students could help clean up the damage. The city's 911 service was overwhelmed by callers and had to tweet to people to only call if it was a life-threatening emergency. Now, these storms were associated with a jet stream, and that jet stream pattern is starting to shift into a warmer spring-like pattern. Today, we're going to be talking about something called the omega block, and that is actually when the jet stream is shaped like in the Greek letter omega. It has a high-pressure system in the middle and is associated with two low-pressure systems that are sandwiched in between it. Now, where we have a high-pressure system, we will be seeing sunnier skies, warmer conditions, and more spring-like temperatures this week. Where we have this low-pressure system and above it, we'll be seeing cooler temperatures, and where that low-pressure system is located, you will be seeing some much-needed rain as you are in a drought in that region, and that rain will be lasting for several days, and this whole this whole omega block pattern can last up to a week long. Now, everyone is wanting that perfect green lawn, but there are some people that are taking this to a whole new level.
As the last signs of winter melt away, people wait to see the green spring grass, some more than others.
We open the course when the weather says we can.
Green grass needs more than melted snow and sunny skies.
Rain and heat. Heat's the big thing, you know. If you stay in the 50s, the grass doesn't really, it'll green up, but it's not really growing very fast.
Even with beautiful weather, Dustin says waiting is the key to a healthy course.
You know, I don't let people come out too early because I'm just trying to protect the golf course.
Dustin has the difficult job of making the call when the course is ready. It is a balancing act between what is best for the course and pleasing the golfers.
Being outside, watching people have a good time, and producing a product out on the golf course to be proud of. It's fun to see what your results are.
Golfers want to be on the course the first day they put on a spring coat. Dustin says springtime is a challenging time due to eager golfers and indecisive weather. I'm Taryn Bromberger, reporting for Studio One.
As a golfer, you can help with the upkeep of the greens by treating it with care. And this brings us to our weather question of the week. Which type of blocking system is associated with a high-pressure system only? Is that A, omega blocking, B, Rex blocking, C, the ring of fire, or D, the cutoff low? And Kari, this blocking system is associated with thunderstorms that happen for several days at a time.
Wow, that's incredible that storms can go that many days in a row. Thanks, Kaela. Now let's go on over to Avery for the sports story of today's show. Avery?
Thanks, Kari. Once a year, many fathers have the opportunity to take their daughters to a special dance just for them. But some people have decided to change tradition.
This is a special night for Kristen and her son Mason.
Just creating memories. You know, it's just really fun to be able to have them look back at things and just have something special to create a little tradition.
Kristen says they've been looking forward to this night for a while.
It's really awesome when we found out about the opportunity to take the boys somewhere.
That somewhere happens to be this bowling alley where Mason gets to let loose and have fun.
Oh, yay, 30! Doing things at home is like, you know, every night that can happen, but only one night a year can we go out and do the mom-son bowling.
Not too many boys want to dance so much with their moms, so we thought we can bowl, anybody can bowl.
This event is called Lucky Strike Bowling, and the purpose of it is to strengthen the bond between mothers and sons.
When you have multiple children and the busyness of day-to-day, sometimes you don't think to, you know, just take time out and spend it with one kid.
The kids even get to take a break and have some pizza.
Pizza is my favorite.
Most of the kids like the bowling itself.
You get to roll the ball and knock down pins. There goes some nuts.
The kids are having a ball, but they also realize the bigger picture of what's really important.
She plays with me. There's too many things I love about her.
While a bowling ball has no problem knocking the pins down, it would take much more to break the bond between a mother and her son. With photographer Peter Monsrud, I'm Alyssa Guck, reporting for Studio One.
Organizer Lynn Roche says that they've tried many other activities, from football to camping, but it seems like bowling is the most popular event. And that's the sports story for today's show. Kari, that seemed like a strike.
Yeah, absolutely. They look like they had a blast too, and it's great that they had to have some pizza. Thanks, Avery. One of our Studio One staff members has a bike that's not ready for spring. Up next, we'll have a bike expert take a look, spoke by spoke.
Closed captioning for Studio One is underwritten in part by NDAD, helping others to help themselves.
For me to go to college, it was a big step, knowing that I'm pursuing a better future for myself. When you know that you have a small system there that you can still find comfort in, it really makes a difference. The support here and everything that they offer for us, you know, the tutors, the free meals, the family, the friends, basically just somewhere for you to relax and be comfortable and find that home feeling again.
Yeah, okay, science meets imagination. Life changed by innovation. They're the future of our nation. Engineers the occupation. UND College of Engineering and Mines. Invest in your mind to stay with the times. Formulas, machines, and all that's in between. They teach it all from wall to wall to help you succeed. Come on, it could be electrical, chemical, or civil. Our world-class staff will help you make it all official. Mechanical, petroleum, geology align at the
UND's College of Engineering and Mines.
Okay, become a leader, prove yourself among all your peers. Changing the world begins right here. You're not alone, but in the plan, we'll take your hand and help you stand with mentorship and advising. We'll do all we can. Okay, so if you want to join the party, simply calculate. The math adds up, so never think to hesitate. Education, leadership, and dreams combined at the UND College of Engineering and Mines.
I really love UND.
It's just exactly what I want to be doing, and with this program I get to do it.
It's very tailored to what your interests are and what your future goals are.
By the time I graduate, I'll have a stacked resume.
This grad program has been unbelievable. It has literally been a dream come true.
With more than 120 degree and certificate programs, the UND School of Graduate Studies is your path to success.
Closed captioning for Studio One is supported in part by the Listen Center, enriching the lives of people who have intellectual disabilities with choices in community recreation.
Time on the trail can make for a great spring day, unless your bike quits on you mid-ride. It's important for the safety of riders to have a general understanding of bike maintenance. Part owner of the Ski and Bike Shop, Pat White, is here to show us how to properly care for our bikes. Thanks for being on the show with us today, Pat.
Well, thank you.
So being a part owner of a bike shop, you see a lot of bikes come in, and today we're talking to you because a lot of people bring their bikes out in the spring and then they check them then. Is that a good time to do that?
It's time appropriate. If they could have brought them in earlier before we had the nice shot of weather, because everybody's bringing in their bike now, that'd be even more helpful, but we'll take it as it comes.
How often should people bring their bikes into like a professional to have them look at their bikes?
Typically, even non-use, about every 2 years, somebody should. And then if they're a rider that rides a lot, it'll be more often.
Great. So today we have our news director's bike here, which has been in the garage for a few years. It's a little dusty. Can you tell us what we should do to make sure that it's ready to go out on the trail?
Sure. The big thing is the ABCs on this, which would be the air, the brake, and the chain. So you pull the bike down from the rafters or from the corner, and we knock off some of the dust that we got going on. And the first thing you want to do then is that air up the tires here and see how everything's going. So you grab a pump or the air compressor, fill it up, look on the sidewall of the tire, and this one says inflate to 40 psi, so we'll start there and then inspect the tire and see how things are looking.
Okay, so a lot of people hang up their bikes in the winter. Is that an okay thing to do?
Oh yeah, I mean, we get common question, is it okay to hang my bike? It certainly is. is it going to do anything to my bike? Most cases not. But when they put their bike away for the fall, we usually get a couple nice warm days yet. And those warm days hanging in the rafter, it heats up a little bit more than what it would be on the ground level. And then the grease that is in there kind of slides around like liquid jello and may clog up a few spots, so things don't work right.
So we live in Grand Forks, it's pretty cold up here. How does that affect bikes over the winter time?
Well, you know, people here still ride all winter. And then just like car oil, where you change to a different grade of oil for the winter time, changing out the areas that move on bearings on your bike to something that's lighter or viscosity that is thinner, boom, I'll let them ride all winter long if they choose to.
So what's the second part of this ABC thing that we're doing here?
Oh yeah, so then the second part is the brakes. So after we've got the tires inflated, we'd go ahead and actually spin the tires if we can and go, okay, we got a front brake here, and then do the same here for the rear and go, oh, not so good. Not good at all. It's frozen up, stiff, yeah.
Okay, so how much would it cost for someone to go get something like that fixed?
You know, this probably just needs new cable and housing, so you're looking at approximately somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 to $10 in parts total.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and there are great YouTube videos. One of the tool companies that we use, Park Tool, puts out a great how-to section on how to fix something just like this.
So UND has a bunch of bike fix stations across campus. Are these the tools that are there, or what kinds of things can you find there?
You know, they're the basics right there. You have the tire pump. You've got a few wrenches that can get you into more trouble if you want to than you need to. But you can do the ABC check on your bike if it's been sitting outside at these stations, no problem.
So can we move on to the C part of the ABCs now?
Oh,
what do
yeah.
we do next?
C would be the chain. So then you grab your lube here, and what we'd want to do then is just spin the wheel backwards here and just lightly lube the chain. And then with an old rag, we would just wipe off any excess here. And if everything is okay with you to go ride, then it would be. Get the brake fixed on this one and knock off some dust and it'd be better. But yeah.
Great. So what kinds of factors should people take into account when they go to buy a bike?
Well, the biggest thing is trying to figure out what they want to do. And when was the last time that they had, or if they've even had a bike that was fit for them. Those are the big things right now. People get confused with a department store style of thought where it's just one size. Now bikes come in sizes, and so whether you're 5'2" or 6'2", you can get a bike that's appropriate for your leg length, your height, and for what you want to do. So if you just want to ride the Greenway, they're wonderful bikes for that. If you want to go across the country, no problem, but little differences.
So lastly, it's National Ride Your Bike Month this month. What sort of activities are included in that for people?
Oh, so yeah, bike to work week, bike to work day. It'll be a busy time. Schools with kids' bike to school day. Yeah, it'll be very busy.
Does your shop see a lot of bikes then coming in this month for people participating in that?
It'll get busier as the weather stays nicer, yes.
Great, thanks for being on the show with us today, Pat.
Thank you.
Few things can bring happiness and cheer to people like a dog can. Next on Studio One, see how one instructor teaches her students the importance of companionship.
Studio One closed captioning is underwritten in part by Options, your disability information source.
It's not the size of the woman in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the woman.
really admire the faculty. They're the ones that kind of helped push me through this.
Courses are hands-on and interactive. The communication program has so many different facets to it. One of the great things about the staff in the communication department is that they love what they do. They encourage you to really critically think and analyze everything you're learning. They're so into it, and it makes you want to be into it.
North Dakota is facing challenges in healthcare delivery. The University of North Dakota School of Medicine and Health Sciences is building a place to help meet the state's healthcare needs. In addition to a new structure, we're also building interaction between healthcare professionals while building a workforce through expanding class sizes. We're inspiring our youth to engage in healthcare careers and exploring ways to reduce disease. It starts here and ends here, building a better future for North Dakota.
To have the future you want and a career you'll be proud of, you'll need a great education. The University of North Dakota can get you there with more than 225 degree programs, preparing you for today's fastest growing, high demand careers like medicine and health professions, aerospace, business, engineering, and energy. Schedule your campus visit today at und.edu/go, because to succeed, you need to be exceptional.
If you would like to attend a live show, go to our website at studio1.und.edu.
Violence and crime are two of the biggest issues in the city of Chicago. Many attempts have been made to bring awareness to criminal activity, including the latest installment in the Barbershop film series. 12 years have gone by since the last run at Calvin's Barbershop, yet many of the old faces remain. Struggling to keep his shop open, Calvin has joined forces with a local beauty salon. Even though business is at a clipping pace, the community outside of the shop is crumbling. Calvin, with the aid of his fellow barbers, turns to the skill he knows best to help save not only the shop, but also the community.
The Barbershop is a fun movie, but we also deal with the serious topics of the day, or we wouldn't be a barbershop.
When looking for the plot of the next movie, actor and producer Ice Cube came across the story of a Memphis barber who was giving out free haircuts to stop gang violence. Although the movie's focus is on the crime and violence in Chicago's South Side, all of the filming was completed in Atlanta. Barbershop, The Next Cut, will be released April 15th with a PG-13 rating. Shoppers in Minneapolis will have to figure out a new way to carry home their produce. The City Council recently banned plastic bags from being used in grocery stores and shopping centers. Customers will be asked to bring reusable bags to help conserve the environment. We wanted to hear what you thought about this kind of bill being passed.
I like it. I generally just carry my stuff out just like this, so I'm all for it.
I always bring my own bag, and I think it's a good idea. The less waste there is, the better.
I prefer stick with plastic. It works fine for me.
I think it's a good idea environmentally. I don't like the government having a say in it necessarily. I mean, I think it's a personal option that people have the choice to do.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it'll definitely help save money on plastic bags and help save the environment a little bit.
People should bring their own reusable bags. You can buy a cloth bag too and just bring that and put it in.
I want to do what's best for the world and our future children and grandchildren.
A comment on Facebook from Mike in St. Michael, Minnesota. This is already happening in California, along with paying deposits on plastic bottle for water, pop, etc. The bags are already part of the store's operation, just another scam to the consumer. And from Chris in Mendota Heights, Minnesota, I honestly think this is a great idea. Think of the kind of trash you see in urban areas. I'll be willing to bet at least 50% is some sort of plastic bag.
Sometimes a best friend is hard to come by. One class is training dogs to step up into this role.
Paperwork goes with you also.
Some students in class are having a little bit of a rough time staying awake.
Any questions? You guys pop in anytime.
But to instructor Lee Anderson, it's this calm demeanor that brings the trainee that extra mile.
If I see someone with a dog that loves to be pet and is very friendly, I ask them if they're interested in sharing that.
Sharing is caring, as today's lesson is on how to be a therapy dog. Students Nikki and Sawyer found their start at a nursing home a couple of years ago.
They want to pet them and it just makes them feel really good. It would be a half hour before we get to her room because so many people stopped us.
Sawyer, a 7-year-old golden retriever, got off on a bad foot before Nikki adopted him and changed his life.
He was so emaciated, his ribs were sticking out. They said that they had never picked so many ticks off a dog.
5 years later, Sawyer is living the life among these canine companions. What these dogs may not realize is the impact they not only have on others, but their owners as well.
Immensely. You just fall in love with them so much. They mean everything to you.
The love that I have for him and that he has shown to me, I don't know who's changed whose life.
Being a therapy dog is so much more than knowing commands like sit, stay, and lay down. It's being able to simply walk into a room and make someone's day.
One time this lady was walking with her walker down the hallway as we walked in, and she said, "Oh, Hercules." I don't know your name though. I said, "That's okay, you know the important one."
The importance that these dogs carry along with them is one that digs deep into people's hearts. With photographer Hadley Purdy, I'm Taylor Nelson, reporting for Studio One.
If you would like more information on how to register your pet as a therapy dog, look to therapydogs.com. Kari, I guess you could say dogs really are man's best friend.
Yeah, and I think it's great that Sawyer was rescued too. She saved him and he's impacting so many people's lives.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Avery. Now Kaela joins us in our studio with a final look at the weather. Kaela?
Thanks, Kari. I have some great news for you as we look at temperatures throughout the week. Much of the United States is going to stay above average. In St. Louis into next week, you guys could be seeing a high of 80 degrees. As we go into precipitation, we can actually see where that omega block pattern we talked about earlier is setting up. It's going to stay drier above that, and we are going to be getting some moisture into Texas, which is much needed as the Gulf will be providing you with that moisture. And this brings us to our weather question of the week. Which type of blocking is associated with a high pressure system? And that is C, the ring of fire. Now the ring of fire is when a high pressure system cuts off from the jet stream, and Kari is called the ring of fire because it creates a ring of storms around the high pressure system and a fire of lightning to occur with it.
Well, Johnny Cash never said anything about that. Thanks, Kaela. And that's our show for today. As always, you can follow us through social media or get more information on our website.
From all of us at Studio One, have a great week.